Before Lee Majors became television's first cyborg hero, the $6 Million Man was deemed too expensive and scientifically impossible by network executives who couldn't envision its groundbreaking blend of action and technology. The cast has finally revealed secrets that will transform your understanding of this revolutionary series. The series that almost never got rebuilt. What most fans don't realize is that the $6 Million Man was rejected by every major network before ABC reluctantly agreed to produce it as a series of TV movies, with executives convinced that audiences wouldn't accept a hero who was more machine than man. The concept seemed too far-fetched for mainstream television in the early 1970s. Lee Majors revealed years later that even he questioned the show's viability during early production. The idea of a man with bionic limbs seemed like pure fantasy when we started filming. Medical technology was nowhere near what we were depicting, and I worried that audiences would find it ridiculous rather than exciting. The series premiered during an era when such technology seemed impossible rather than inevitable. Richard Anderson disclosed that the network demanded constant script changes to make the science more believable. ABC executives kept asking for explanations of how the bionic technology worked, but we were making it up as we went along. The writers had to create plausible-sounding medical jargon for procedures that didn't exist. The challenge was making fantasy feel scientifically credible. Martin E. Brooks noted how the show's Cold War themes worried network censors. We were depicting advanced American military technology during the height of tensions with the Soviet Union. Some episodes had to be modified to avoid revealing actual classified research programs. The series walked a fine line between entertainment and national security concerns that influenced storylines throughout its run. Steve Austin's transformation into living weapon. Steve Austin's journey from test pilot to cyborg operative wasn't just character development. It was television's first serious exploration of human enhancement technology and the psychological costs of becoming more machine than man. What Lee Majors revealed about portraying this transformation shows how they created television's most complex superhero without traditional superpowers. Majors disclosed his approach to playing a character struggling with his artificial components. Steve had to deal with being rebuilt without his consent, then learning to function with body parts that were more advanced than human biology, but felt foreign and mechanical. The bionic limbs weren't gifts, they were constant reminders of what he'd lost in that crash. The character's enhancement came with genuine psychological trauma and identity confusion. The famous slow-motion sequences weren't just dramatic effects. They represented Steve's internal experience of moving faster than normal human perception. When Steve uses his bionic speed, time slows down from his perspective, Majors explained. The slow-motion shots show how isolated he becomes from normal human experience when he uses his enhanced abilities. The bionic eye's zoom and infrared capabilities weren't just convenient plot devices. They represented the surveillance state's extension into human consciousness. Steve becomes a living reconnaissance system, noted Richard Anderson, who played Oscar Goldman. His enhanced vision makes him the perfect intelligence operative, but it also means he can never truly have privacy or normal human relationships. The OSI's secret government operations. The Office of Scientific Intelligence wasn't just Steve Austin's employer. It was television's first realistic portrayal of how intelligence agencies might develop and deploy human enhancement technology for national security purposes. What Richard Anderson revealed about developing Oscar Goldman shows how they created television's most believable government agency while exploring the ethics of human experimentation. Anderson disclosed his interpretation of Oscar's moral complexity. Oscar genuinely cares about Steve as a person, but he also sees him as a valuable government asset that represents millions of dollars in research and development. That tension between friendship and operational necessity drives many of our most dramatic storylines. The character embodied the military-industrial complex's human face while representing institutional priorities over individual welfare. The OSI's advanced technology and unlimited budget reflected contemporary fears, about secret government programs and unchecked. The agency's willingness to rebuild Steve without his initial consent raised ethical questions about medical experimentation and informed consent that the series explored throughout its run. The OSI's ability to enhance humans raised questions about who controls such technology and whether individuals have the right to refuse enhancement when national security is involved, noted Martin E. Brooks, who played Dr. Rudy Wells. The organization became a commentary on governmental power over individual autonomy in medical and technological advancement. The bionic technology that predicted the future. The $6 Million Man's bionic enhancements weren't just science fiction gadgets. They were surprisingly accurate predictions of prosthetic technology, surgical techniques, and human enhancement research that wouldn't become reality for decades. What the production team revealed about developing these concepts shows how they created believable future technology through careful research and extrapolation. The bionic limbs integration with Steve's nervous system anticipated actual developments in neural interface technology and brain-controlled prosthetics. We consulted with medical researchers who were already working on connecting artificial limbs to the human nervous system, disclosed Martin E. Brooks. The show's depiction of thought-controlled mechanical limbs seemed impossible in 1974, but it was based on real research directions. The bionic eye's multiple vision modes, zoom, infrared, and night vision, predicted the development of artificial retinas and computer-enhanced vision systems. The writers understood that enhancing human vision would require multiple sensory capabilities beyond normal sight, noted Lee Majors. Steve's bionic eye became a template for how artificial vision enhancement might actually work. The series' emphasis on maintenance, calibration, and occasional malfunction of bionic components realistically portrayed how complex technological implants would require ongoing medical support and adjustment. Steve's bionic parts weren't perfect. They needed repairs, upgrades, and constant monitoring, revealed Anderson. This realistic approach to enhancement technology made the concept more believable than simple miracle cures. The Fembot episodes that explored AI consciousness. The recurring Fembot storylines weren't just science fiction spectacle. They were sophisticated explorations of artificial intelligence, identity, and the nature of consciousness that anticipated contemporary debates about robot rights and artificial consciousness. What the cast revealed about these episodes shows how they addressed profound philosophical questions through action-adventure entertainment. The Fembot's ability to perfectly mimic human behavior while serving destructive purposes reflected fears about artificial intelligence's potential for deception and manipulation. The Fembots were terrifying because they looked and acted completely human until they revealed their mechanical nature, disclosed Lee Majors. They represented anxieties about being unable to distinguish between authentic and artificial consciousness. The episodes where Steve falls in love with androids who don't know, their artificial explored questions about the nature of consciousness and emotion that philosophers still debate. If an artificial being experiences love and believes it's real, does that make the emotion authentic? Noted Richard Anderson. The show asked whether consciousness requires biological components, or if artificial minds could experience genuine feelings. The Fembot's superior physical capabilities, combined with artificial intelligence, made them formidable opponents who challenged Steve's enhanced abilities. Fighting enemies who were stronger and faster than a bionic man forced the show to emphasize strategy and intelligence over pure physical confrontation, revealed Anderson. The Cold War paranoia. Hidden in every episode beneath its science fiction adventure surface, the $6 Million Man was deeply influenced by Cold War tensions and fears about technological superiority determining global dominance. What the cast revealed about the series' political subtext shows how they used bionic enhancement as a metaphor for the arms race and technological competition between superpowers. Many episodes featured Soviet agents seeking to steal or replicate American bionic technology, reflecting real concerns about science. The series' emphasis on Steve's loyalty and patriotism wasn't just character development. It was reassurance that human enhancement technology would remain under democratic control rather than falling into authoritarian hands. Steve's unwavering dedication to American values showed that enhanced humans wouldn't become threats to the society that created them, noted Lee Majors. The recurring theme of enemy attempts to control or replicate Steve's enhancements reflected contemporary fears about brainwashing, mind control, and technological infiltration. Every mission raised questions about whether Steve's loyalty could be compromised through technological manipulation, revealed Martin E. Brooks. The series explored whether enhanced humans could maintain their essential humanity and moral compass when their bodies were partly artificial and subject to external control. The special effects that defined a generation. The $6 Million Man's distinctive visual and audio effects weren't just production techniques. They were innovative solutions to depicting superhuman abilities on television budgets that created an iconic audio-visual language still referenced in popular culture decades later. What the production team revealed about creating these effects shows how limitations forced creative breakthroughs. The famous slow-motion sequences combined with electronic sound effects were developed because the show couldn't afford expensive stunt work or special effects for every bionic action scene. We discovered that slowing down normal movements and adding electronic sounds made ordinary actions look superhuman, disclosed Lee Majors. The technique was born from budget constraints, but it became more memorable than expensive special effects could have been. The bionic sound effects, that distinctive electronic whirring and beeping, were created using analog synthesizers and electronic music equipment that was cutting edge for television production. Those sounds became so associated with superhuman abilities that they influenced how every subsequent show depicted enhanced humans, noted sound designer team members. The Bionic Eye's visual effects, showing zoom and targeting capabilities from Steve's perspective, pioneered first-person enhancement visualization that influenced everything from video games to modern superhero films. We were creating the visual language for how enhanced human perception would look from the inside, revealed technical directors. The series established templates for depicting technological enhancement that continue influencing contemporary media and entertainment. The cultural impact that transcended television. The $6 Million Man's influence extended far beyond entertainment into medical research, military technology development, and cultural discussions about human enhancement that continue shaping contemporary debates about cybernetics and artificial intelligence integration with human biology. The series' realistic approach to prosthetic technology inspired actual medical researchers and engineers working on advanced artificial limbs and neural interfaces. Doctors and engineers have told me that our show influenced their career choices and research directions, revealed Lee Majors. The idea of thought-controlled artificial limbs seemed like science fiction in 1974, but it motivated real research that has made such technology possible. The show's exploration of enhancement ethics and identity questions anticipated contemporary debates about genetic modification, artificial intelligence, and human-machine integration. Steve's struggles with his artificial components predicted many of the philosophical and psychological challenges that actual enhancement technology would create, noted Martin E. Brooks. The series' catchphrases and imagery became part of popular culture vocabulary for describing anything fast, strong, or technologically enhanced. Better, stronger, faster became shorthand for technological improvement in every field from athletics to computing, disclosed Richard Anderson. The cultural legacy continues influencing how society discusses and envisions human enhancement possibilities. Watch the series again with appreciation for its prescient vision of prosthetic technology, its complex exploration of enhancement ethics, and its lasting influence on both popular culture and actual scientific research. Notice how every element serves the larger questions about what it means to be human when technology can replace and improve biological capabilities. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into television's most influential science fiction achievements. Hit that notification bell so you never miss our latest uploads, and let us know in the comments which bionic ability you would choose if given the chance. We have the technology,